Welcome back to World Warships with your host X-Brad TC, and here we see Grump Wagon going for not one but two Kraken awards. He's going to start off with a torpedo hit on the enemy cruiser on the estuary map. Enemy cruiser has just used his damage control ability, and so he's going to flood. And because he's flooding, that means he's going to die. That's one. As I said, Grump is on the estuary map. He's in the Japanese Tier 7 destroyer, the Fubuki. And Grump is just about, here we are, about 7 minutes later into the match. Grump is already back in the enemy's base. He's coming in to cap on the enemy. He's got a friendly destroyer here. He's going to use the friendly destroyer's smoke screen to go ahead and hide. He's got torpedoes out. He's also coming into range of an enemy ship. He's going to hide. We've got a friendly destroyer. We've got a friendly cruiser is coming hell-bent for leather to join us, and rounds out on this cruiser. And I can't quite see what that is. But Grump's first couple of salvos, not looking so good. Enemy cruiser looks like he's just about to run aground. Grump, as I said, he's hiding in the smoke. He's dashing back and forth. He'll pull forward, he'll pull back to make it harder for the enemy to hit him. And you'll see, he's frustrating the enemy's ability to hit him because he's hiding in the smoke. And he can't just spray the smoke and get lucky because he's moving. A few more rounds out, friendly cruisers start to add his fire to this cruiser, and Grump's going to get the kill. That's two. As we noted, we've got two destroyers sitting in the enemy's base, and that means the enemy is going to start coming back and trying to defend the base. Unfortunately for them, what's happening is they're coming in one at a time. And with two destroyers and a heavy cruiser all ready to defend this capture point, it's not going to end well for the enemy. Cruiser puts a big hurt on this enemy cruiser, the New Orleans. Grump has torpedoes out, and they've been running for quite a while. He's adding his own gunfire to this. Shots out. And take a look. There's the torpedo that's going to get him. Yep, that looks pretty good. That's three. Another enemy ship. I believe this is the Amagi coming out of this strait to defend, try and reset the cap. He's on terribly low health. Grump goes ahead and gets the torpedoes out just in case. Starts firing. Terribly low health. I get accused of being a kill stealer, but that's 196 points of damage. That's kill stealing. It's also number 4. Enemy ship coming out. Next up, enemy destroyer. And I do believe this is a Fubuki as well. Grump turns, launches torpedoes, because that's what you're doing in a Japanese destroyer. You always launch torpedoes. But the Fubuki is the first Japanese destroyer to have somewhat decent guns. Rounds out. He's got multiple people shooting at him. And that's 5. The Kraken has been unleashed. And very momentarily, they're going to win by capping. So how did he do? Well, he got 261,000 credits, 2,500 XP, 127 free XP. He unleashed the Kraken, and I do believe that's a devastating strike. 32,000 damage with only 2 torpedo hits. But he did come in number 1 on the team with 1,600 base experience points. Not bad at all. He did do 17,000 damage to the Molotov, 7,500 to the New Orleans, 5,000 to the shores, but come on, 196 on the Amagi. Next up, you're going to see this poor little Clemson is going to get hit by torpedoes from a Clemson, from torpedo bombers, and even after it's dead, it's going to get hit by torpedoes from an enemy Nicholas. Oh yeah, yeah. There's the friendly Clemson hits. There's the friendly torpedo bomber torpedoes just astern, and that kills it. And then here comes the torpedoes from the Nick. Yeah. Why am I showing this? Well, because that's not Grump Wagon sinking. That's me. Who's the Clemson that torpedoed me? Well, that would be Grump Wagon. This was not my best run. I mean, when I've got 3 different players torpedo me all at once, 2 of which are on my team, I'm very unhappy. Still, you would think with such an inauspicious beginning, by the way, I don't think I even did any damage in this game. You would think with such an inauspicious beginning that Grump would go on to have maybe not the world's best game. So let's see what happened here from his point of view. Why did Grump go ahead and sink me? Well, he actually didn't sink me. He just did all the damage, and the friendly torpedo bombers from the carrier polished me off. Rounds out on the enemy destroyer. And what is that? Can't quite tell what that is, but he gets a devastating strike and the first blood. He detonated the poor destroyer's magazine, just wiped him out. You see the enemy Nicholas coming, and he's going to launch torpedoes at the Nick, and he's turning. He's going to launch a second spread. Unfortunately, that's me right there. I had to keep going straight ahead to avoid the enemy torpedoes on my starboard side, which meant I had to take 2 on my port side. And then, oh, by the way, you see where Grump gets a kill. That was not me. That was the enemy Nicholas. He did manage to get a torpedo into the Nicholas and polish him off. So that's 2. Grump took out 2 enemy destroyers so far. Yeah. So we're up 2-1, and I'm the only one dead on the team. There's another Clemson over here operating with in cooperation with Grump. He's not part of our division, but they're trying to operate in mutual support. Grump really wants to get back through this channel that you see right there and go after heavy enemy targets. Carriers, battleships, that sort of thing. Can't really do that while there's all the destroyers back there. You'd get spotted. Looks like the friendly Clemson just took out one of the enemy destroyers. And so we got to spend a little bit of time destroyer hunting. And this is fairly common on the big race map, particularly Tier 4, Tier 5. What's a little uncommon, you don't usually see this many destroyers. There were 5 destroyers on each side, and every single one of them was down here in the south, in the southwest. You'll see my carrier driver at least had the kindness to say, sorry for torpedoing you. I'm like, hey, don't feel bad, man. My own division mate did it. Grump's trying to get a decent look at somebody to shoot at, and all the while he's also utilizing friendly smoke screens or even enemy smoke screens to try and stay concealed as possible. Enemy New York, since he's in the smoke, might as well take a couple of cheap shots at him. Goes through the smoke screen, gets detected. He's debating, should I go and press the attack and try and close into torpedo range and kill this guy or not? Nah. He's going to launch, thinking that maybe the New York would turn back in. Unfortunately, no. It was a pretty good attack. Just, oh, hey, did you see that? Just past the New York is one of the enemy carriers. Grump's going to keep that little tidbit of information in his mind. We're going to come back and revisit that shortly. The New York does unleash on Grump, but he had armor piercing loaded, so he takes some damage, but not a whole lot. Now, I was thinking watching this, ooh, that's a pretty good torpedo attack. Looks like he's going to get one. No, ran out of steam. break contact. Try to avoid getting shot at anymore. Come around here. Oh, there's a Yubari. Yubari's not much of a cruiser. It's kind of like a extra big destroyer. It's Japanese, I believe it's a premium tier 3 cruiser. Comes under dive bomber attack. Takes a big hit from the dive bombers. Gets set on fire. Has to dodge torpedoes from the Yubari. He's going to try and get some torpedoes out on the Yubari. The Yubari's shooting him, doing even more damage. And the Yubari's turning. Second spread out. Takes a big hit from the Yubari. Yubari is equipped with, as I recall, 140 millimeter guns. Trying to get turned around so we can get another shot at the Yubari. Maybe unload our other side torpedo tubes, but no. Friendly cruiser took out the Yubari. He's toast. So Grump has to dodge the incoming torpedoes from the Yubari, and oh, by the way, has to dodge the friendly torpedoes from what I believe was Minakaze over there, the other friendly destroyer. Time to get back around. Grump is still trying to get back into the enemy's backfield so he can go after carriers, go after battleships and whatnot. Unfortunately for him, he's got a little bit of a surprise in store for him. He doesn't realize he's about to come across... Oh, detected. What was that? The enemy Clemson. Clemson's on almost full health. Gets a couple of rounds into him. Unfortunately for the enemy Clemson driver, he died of stupidity. He turned to unleash his torpedoes while Grump was turning to unleash his. And basically, Grump was on low enough health. If he'd have just gunned him, he could have killed him. But no. He wasn't paying attention to gunnery. He tried to launch his torpedoes that exposed his broadside and let him get hit with one of Grump's torpedoes. That's 3. Grump zips into the channel. There goes the enemy Clemson torpedoes. Guy could have survived if he'd have just shot him instead of trying to torpedo him. Grump breaks contact. He's going to do a little bit of a Williamson turn here. Williamson turn is where you turn about 30 degrees into one direction and then turn the wheel hard over in the other direction, and it'll bring you back out pretty much on the same line you were on by the time you've done a 180 degree turn. Grump sees a little opportunity here. He's not detected. The New York enemy battleship, which had previously taken a shot at him, is far enough away that he can probably, if he hugs to the side of the strait here, he can get into range of the carrier without being detected. Our friendly airstrike has done a fair amount of damage to the enemy carrier. He's lost temporarily line of sight, but no problem. He knows where it's at. It's not going anywhere. We know there's one carrier. I mean, he can see the one carrier. And we also know the other enemy carrier is back here somewhere. Now, enemy carrier has 2 squadrons of torpedo bombers up. He's detected. Rounds out. There's a squadron of dive bombers just came off the deck. Grump's shooting. Trying to set the deck on fire. Yes. And you know what? He even gets the kill. That's 4. But he's in a real pickle. Has to dodge torpedo bomber squadron on both sides. And will it miss? Will it miss? Oh, and the dive bomber squadron comes in. That's about as close as it comes without getting hit. Grump asks me, since I'm already dead, I'm watching the game in the spectator mode, where are the New York's guns pointed? And I said, not at you. You're free. You're clear. The New York's got problems of his own. He's dealing with our friendly battleships, and he's got multiple ships shooting at him. So lo and behold, there's the other carrier, the enemy Langley Tier 4 U.S. carrier. It's slow. It's poorly armored. It's got terrible arms. I mean, the secondary battery is just awful. Doesn't carry a lot of planes. However, this is going to take a while. I mean, Grump's getting hits, but, out of a 4-gun salvo, he's getting like 1 penetration, maybe 2, for a couple 100 points each. He really wants to set this flight deck on fire to prevent him from launching any dive bombers or torpedo bombers or anything like that. Remember, when the carrier's flight deck is on fire, the ship can neither recover nor launch aircraft. Another dive bomber strike comes in and again misses. And just rounds out. He's got to get some hits. The Langley's a funny little ship. It's very low in the water, and then the flight deck is an elevated platform, so you can send rounds right through the structure quite easily and miss. Started to fire very briefly, but enemy uses his damage control to put it out. Recovers his dive bomber squadron. Grump is wearing him down, but he's got to hurry. Torpedo bomber squadron gets off. Very weak squadron. There's only one plane in the squadron. Got another fire started, or somebody started a fire. It looks like yep, there's a second fire. Remember, in addition to the alpha damage he's doing when he's hitting with these high explosive rounds, the fire is also grinding away at the Langley's health. Now, Langley's got 33,000 health to start with, and at 400 or 500 hit points every time, it's going to take a while to wear this guy down. But still, he's getting there. Langley doesn't have too much long to go. He's certainly not going to be able to outrun a destroyer with twice his speed. A couple more salvos ought to do it, and another fire, and that's it. That's 5. That's the Kraken. And you know what? That's the game. 276,000 credits, 5,100 XP, 258 free XP, First Blood, Kraken, Devastating Strike, first on his team, 1,600 base XP. Grump had a pretty good day, even considering he just about blew his division mate out of the water. Yep, look at that. 10,000 damage to me. 33,000 damage to the Langley, 9,000 to the Itzyaslav, 5,600 to the Clemson. Not bad at all. I mean, he was not kill stealing any of these guys. I mean, he was doing legit damage. All right, that's it for this episode, and we will talk to you later.